Welcome to the SailSavvy channel. This is your host Magnus with Captain Cognac co-hosting. This episode demonstrates how simple it can be to install solar on your boat. Harnessing the sun's rays and converting it to electric energy almost seems like a miracle, and certainly not always straightforward. On a sailboat, mounting options for solar panels can be limited and often costly. Information in regards to connecting solar panels to the existing charging systems can be confusing or even misleading. A simple solar installation doesn't have to be complicated or even difficult though. In this example, we've designed a straightforward setup of 2 solar panels, a low-cost charge controller, 12-volt Raymarine tiller pilot, and USB outlets with appropriate fuses. And this project will not only connect everything and cover the basics, but also reveal the simplest way to install the physical solar panels themselves. From a diagram perspective, adding solar to your existing electrical system can be as simple as connecting a panel to a charge controller and the charge controller to the existing battery, completely ignoring the rest of the system connected to that same battery. 4 wires, plus and minus from panel to controller, plus and minus from controller to battery. That's it, installed, done, let's go sailing. In many cases, it really is this simple. As an added bonus, most charge controllers can provide real-time and accumulated charge statistics. The only 2 parameters that need satisfying are: the charge controller must be compatible with your battery type, lithium, lead acid, AGM, etc. The charge controller input capacity must match the maximum output capacity of the solar panels. Theoretically, no fuse or breaker should be required as the charge controller has the ability to protect the battery. There would, however, not be any harm and very little cost to follow best practices and add an inline fuse or breaker between the panels and the charge controller. To take full advantage of the charge controller's features, the load, or everything connected that consumes power, should be connected through the charge controller. This would then provide real-time or accumulated consumption statistics. However, it also means you have to match the load capacity of the charge controller to the maximum load expected from all simultaneous power consumers. This will often lead to a little bit higher cost of the charge controller. There are 2 ways to connect multiple panels, parallel or serial. There are drawbacks and advantages of either. If shade were not an element that needed considering, a serial connection provides the highest combined output. However, in a serial scenario, if one panel is shaded, the output from all the panels suffers. On a sailboat, it's almost certain some panels will be shaded some of the time. Thus, connecting in parallel is by far a more common choice. Let's get to the actual install. A while back, I installed a backup auto tiller necessitating access to 12 volt at the stern. I'd already started thinking of separate battery, small outlet breaker panel, and solar charging. In addition to powering the auto tiller, it would also supply power to a portable freezer without it draining the house batteries on long passages. I also procured the cheapest charge controller compatible with LifePo 4 batteries and with the capacity required, and I already had 250-watt solar panels. Before committing to an actual installation, I wanted to make sure everything worked by setting up a simple test bed. Cutting boards make great project materials on boats. Here's the panel with charge controller, Raymarine outlet, and a 12-volt lighter socket, which is the light in the diagram. The solar panels are simply adhered to the coach top with Sikaflex. I wiped it down with acetone before applying Sikaflex to the bottom of the panel, followed by placing the panel on the coach top. The portable camping stove rested on top of the panel for the first 5 hours to apply some degree of pressure. A couple of hot tips. Make sure to purchase a few solar-specific connectors. They crimp on easily and are weatherproof. Your solar panel will likely have these already. Ensure there is space for air to circulate under the panel, as they do get very hot when they produce full capacity. The main drawback to installing solar panels with Sikaflex is that if you wish to remove them, it is a lot of work to remove all the Sikaflex residue. Thank you for watching this episode of our Do-It-Yourself series from SailSavvy.org. Myself, Magnus, and Captain Cognac are standing by on channel SailSavvy.